Today on Riffs and Gear, we check out the brand new Torpedo Captor from 2 Notes. Viewers of this channel may be familiar with 2 Notes Audio Engineering. It is my former workplace, in addition to pretty much every guitar tone on this channel these days is created by a 2 Notes Torpedo studio right there. But 2 Notes also is looking to the future, and they saw the need to have a smaller, more compact version of their coveted Torpedo Reload, and you have the Torpedo Captor. Now, the Torpedo Captor is several things in one small compact unit. It is an amplifier DI, it is an attenuator, and it is a load box with a built-in guitar or bass cab simulator. Now, let's break each of those things down and talk about the applicability of each one of those things. As a point of reference, I will be using the Torpedo Studio right behind me in my desk. Now, if you took some individual components from that, you would be able to take the load section in the Torpedo Live or the Torpedo Studio or the Torpedo Reload, and if you isolate just the amplifier load box part of those units and put it in the Captor, that is the load box part. Now, the Torpedo Cab pedal is just the cabinet simulation part of those units, and this is just another part broken out and simplified. So with the load box, I am able to use any tube amp I want, up to 100 watts, into this unit. Now from there, I am able to output and choose a few different output options. Now, if I use the XLR out on the front, I can choose guitar, bass cab, or off. So either one of those built-in cabinet simulations, I can output within the hardware itself. It's not digital, it's a hardware cabinet sim, and I could output that into the front of house at a show, or I can go direct into my interface for recording, for silent recording. So I would have my tube amp into the Captor, into my interface, or front of house, or something like that. Now, the second option is I could output the line out, the dry signal. Now I'm utilizing the load box part of the Captor, and I'm putting out the raw amp signal, and I could put this out into something like the Torpedo Cab pedal and keep this all modular and on a pedal board if I wanted to, and I could put any cabinet simulation on that signal via the Torpedo Cab pedal. Super, super cool. And the last option with the Captor is just using it as an attenuator. On the back, there is a -20 dB attenuation. So I would plug this in, I would plug my amp into the Captor would then go into a speaker cabinet, and I would have 20 dB of volume reduction. So then that way I could really crank up my Marshall style amp or something like that, and I could still keep it relatively quiet, actually pretty quiet with most amps. So it's kind of like a baby Swiss Army knife, if you will. We'll call it a Leatherman, if I may. It's not a Leatherman, and 2 Notes has no affiliation with Leatherman, and I don't have any affiliation with Leatherman. I don't even know why I said that. So let's check out the sound of the built-in guitar cabinet simulator. I'm not going to run sounds through the Torpedo Cab pedal because it is the same cabinet section as you guys have heard a million times on the Torpedo stuff, and also the Torpedo Cab is $500 more if you wanted to use that with this, and we are focusing on the Captor for this video. So the following soundbite is me just playing a Balaguer Growler in drop B, going into a Mesa Boogie Triple Crown TC50, and I'm just gonna kind of play through it and use some clean tones, some crunch tones, and all of the tones that you were hearing are coming through the Captor using the built-in hardware guitar cabinet simulator into a Stam 1073 MPA Neve preamp. And that is it. There's no post-processing on this sound at all. All right, so let's get to the sounds. If you have long wanted to use your tube amp in a silent recording situation and haven't yet been able to afford products like the 2Notes Torpedo Live or the Torpedo Studio, the Captor is your tool of choice. This is $250. Now this housing is metal and each unit is its own fixed ohm rating. So if you had an amp that was 8 ohms, you would get the 8 ohm model. If you had one that was 16, if you're running like a Marshall or something like that, you would get the 16 ohm model, and so on and so forth. The ohms are not switchable on this unit. So be sure to really 8 ohms is gonna be good for just about any amplifier out there and usable for any amplifier out there because most amplifiers are switchable these days anyway. So I predict the 8 ohm will be the good seller. I'll put my links down below in the description. You've been wonderful. I've been Fluff. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.